All right, I think we are live. You know, okay, right. We're going to wait for 30 minutes. 30 minutes of just dead silence. No, I wouldn't do that to you, but my glasses are fogging up. Anyway, welcome to the stream. It's me again. It's just me with the hand of God because I did not fix the lighting today, but that's okay. Anyway, I tried. I'll show you exactly how I tried to fix the lighting. Look. Once I move, what? Anyway, that felt that little display that I just tried to do of my new wonderful lighting, which consists of one lamp pointed to the wall, has just failed. And honestly, I don't think I could get any whiter than I am right now. Like, I'm so white. I've changed race. Do you think it would help if I pulled the curtain over instead of just letting all the light come into the room? Is this better? This is somewhat better. I'm a genius. It's been confirmed. Anyway, today we are going to be talking about books. However, you know what I love to do? I love to stall until people are actually watching my stream so that I can actually say stuff, you know? With people responding, because I'm a professional streamer and that's what I do. So I guess I'm just going to steal the formula that Distractable has and go well, every single stream we're going to start off with small talk first, and then we're going to delve into the topic and then get distracted. It feels like I'm ripping them off, honestly, apart from the fact that it's just one person instead of 3 people. Anyway, I think that's enough stalling. I've been stalling for 2 minutes. That's okay. Anyway, on the subject of books. Books are great, I think, personally. And I really love to read, even though I haven't been reading as much lately. I just can't seem to find, the motivation to. When you're oh, well, I really should text this person, but at the same time, I just can't be bothered. Or I just don't have the energy to socialize, and I don't want to explain, for the 17th time that my mother has dragged me away to do chores, because, every excuse kind of, runs its course after a while. Not that I do deliberately do that to people, because I'm oh, well, I feel bad, right? But, yeah, anyway, I really like books. I keep rereading them. That's something that I just do. And one of the books that I really do adore that you can see, but it's just inverted, I'm sure you didn't need me to tell you that, yes, I am married to my wife, that kind of sentence, right? But it's called Upon Wings of Change, and, oh god, right, Upon Wings of Change, you're just going to have to trust me here, unless you can, mirror read. If I remember correctly, was it Archimedes or Pythagoras? I think it was Archimedes that had this entire notebook just filled to the brim with mirror writing. I don't know why. I don't know how he had, the motivation to do that entire book, but I guess you shouldn't question geniuses or whatever, right? And I tried that. It did not work. Anyway, books. Okay, Upon Wings of Change. How am I going to sell this book to you? And before I begin, I guess, you've got the legal disclaimer, although I don't think any lawyers will be watching this footage, but, I am not paid to do this. I just really love this book because it's one of the, books that I read online for a very, very long time just to cope with everything that's going on, and I would just read it religiously over and over each night. It was like my Bible, okay? And, well, let me just read out to you, with my fantastic public reading skills, public speaking skills, rather, of the script that I wrote for it. This is actually for my school assembly, but like, you know, you guys are my premium viewers, you know? You deserve the very best, and the very best is watching me read this. So let's go. Right. And for your information, so some of the jokes will make sense if the camera quality is a bit that's a dragon, by the way. It has wings, okay? It's called upon wings of... anyway, they can fly, okay? Right, anyway. Hello, folks. Today I'm going to introduce an amazing self-published book called Wings of Change by Scarecrow. Let's fly right into it. Now, Tasha is our main protagonist, a tired university student with nothing but coffee running through her veins, just like some of you out there, was suddenly thrown into a van, kidnapped. Despite the situation being really, dreadful, it somehow gets even worse. The next thing she knows is tumbling out of an egg as a miniature dragon with an appetite for fruit. Everything increasingly goes pear-shaped as humanity is wiped out with some extraterrestrials called the Chimari settling into their newfound home. Now the concept is strange, even alien, but I promise you that you'll love it even though it is a little bananas at times. The most appealing part of this book is the day-to-day interactions in the small city that these dragons, otherwise known as dragonettes, live in. Now, I just adore the gradual formation of a deep, trusting friendship between Tasha and a Chimari called Taurine. After he rescues her from an otherwise potentially fatal accident. The hilarity that ensues when she gets up to no good while posing as a mere animal, you know, her playful rivalry with the Chimari called Saranto is just fantastic to read. It's just so charming. And the book excels at introducing us to these wonderful people and their fascinating bonds and the way that they, you know, really live their life. It's like a slice of life kind of book, but with it does have action. You know, of course, there are conflicts. An insane alien with an attraction to the little, you know, pokey, stabby, stabby. A hive of invasive sakura that spread death and destruction, and all the little bumps and potholes along the way. I just adore that this slow-paced book is still extremely engaging while, you know, there's so much... I'm not sure how to describe it. It just really makes you want to keep reading, even though when you look at, you know, the big picture, there really isn't that much going on, if you know what I mean. And the fact that this book is self-published is just the cherry on top. You know... oh god, aspiring authors with great amounts of potential get rejected by publishers all the time. But if they can't see the quality of some of what you produce, ditch them and prove that they're wrong. Publish it yourself because I know people will love your creation. Now, this review... English. Now, this review has been dragging on, and you have to admit the puns were very good, even though some are low-hanging fruit. I hope that my attempts to entertain you aren't fruitless, and that you enjoyed the show. Thank you for listening, have a great day, and don't leave the stream, because I haven't finished yet. Anyway, that was a bit, you know, patchy, and... a little bit of it was a bit shaky, but that's okay. You know, in the stream, we understand that I'm doing this for free, and therefore the quality, obviously, you know, what's the phrase called? You pay what you get, or something like that. Like, you get what you pay for. Yes, exactly. Ha! I got it right first try. What do you mean, you know? God. Anyway, but like, genuinely though, I really love this book. And I think that you should go read it, you can get it for free online. You can read it for free online. It's the first draft kind of thing. Well, not the first draft, but like the less edited version, and you can get the printed copy on Amazon, I think. Anyway, back to other news in books and reading. So I think like especially with reading is that I don't know, it always feels like to me that school and teaching people English seem to be one of the things that are causing people to just not really want to read books anymore. In English, if you live in the UK, that's where I am actually, if you couldn't figure out by my accent, is we study a lot of literature that are, for example, are from Shakespeare, are from Charles Dickens, and I personally love these classics because they are, well, in my opinion, really well written, and I like the kind of style of it all, and I really it really tugs at my heartstrings sometimes, like Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. I really like that one because sometimes it might seem contradictory, but sometimes I do need to put the book down because it makes me so sad, I guess. It makes me uncomfortable, but not in the way that's, necessarily a bad thing. It's just that, it really succeeds in doing what it wants to do, I'm just watching the screen and seeing me transcend? What? No, seeing me transform into, like, whenever I move, I get bluer and bluer, and sometimes it just pulses into a warmer glow, and I think, if that was actually, what's it called? Actually, like, on purpose, then it would probably be a cool thing, but unfortunately, it is not. And, yeah, so I think that school destroys some of people's motivation to read because they're like, oh god, it's so boring in class that we need to analyze and annotate so much, and I can't even enjoy the story because the English teacher is like, oh, the blue curtains mean that they're depressed, while in reality it's just curtains, right? Not to say that pathetic fallacies don't exist. For those of you that don't know, pathetic fallacy is when the environment mimics whatever I think it's how the characters feel, or the political climate or whatever, and so maybe if a character is feeling sad, then to emphasize that, you do want a stormy day or a cloudy day, or for everything to be colder, chillier, painted in a kind of bluish gray haze. But at the same time, I think it can just be so dull, I know in universities, right, university students, basically an adult by then, you are an adult by then, and you really like the subject, so you can sit through lectures, and even then, people still get tired, still doze off, still get distracted, and a lot of, not a lot of English teachers that I've had before, but I remember one specific English teacher that I had. She just kept on talking, and while I sometimes enjoyed that, it kind of gets really, really dull because there's no interaction that actually a lot of pupils enjoy in the classroom, even though, obviously people are like, oh, I don't want to put my hand up, oh, I don't want to talk because I didn't pay attention or whatever. But it is way better to engage in class rather than have a teacher drone on and on. And I feel like that's what a lot of people come to expect from English as a subject, and that makes me really sad because I like English. Maybe it's because I do well in it. Maybe it's because it's my, highest grade subject. But no, I genuinely do read it. Read it? No, I genuinely do love it, and it makes me so sad sometimes that it's destroying people's motivation to read. And also, recently, I just think that, you have to when you're picking a book, you need to go through a lot of like failure books, as in like not that the writing isn't good or anything, but it's not to your taste, right? So like books that you don't like before finding the kind of gold mine, because not everyone will like reading every single genre of book or every single style, as in like the writer's stylistic choices in terms of writing, right? So it does take a while until you find your like small niche, and that changes over time. For example, I used to really like reading Shakespeare, and I still kind of do, but I don't want to do that all the time, right? And I used to like consume classical literature like bread, like English people eat tea, no, drink tea and eat crumpets, right? But now I don't want to do that anymore, and I've actually found myself leaning towards medical nonfiction. I am interested in becoming a doctor, so I guess it kind of makes sense, right? But in terms of fantasy books, I love fantasy. It's like my favorite genre, but recently I just haven't found good fantasy books that I want to read. And it's just so frustrating because, like, I don't know, I really wish that I actually had like an app or something. I'm sure it exists somewhere. I just haven't found it yet. But I really want to find this app that can like, recommend books to me based on what I've read before. Because it would be really helpful to me as someone who's trying to get back into reading to actually have books that I want to read. For example, in terms of fantasy books, here's one I have here. Lord of the Rings. Good book. As in, like, the world building, I think is pretty good. You can argue a lot of things about, like, the racial implications in terms of, was J.R.R. Tolkien racist? Probably. He was an old white man living in the past, so probably. But, like, all the problematic stuff aside, the book just seems too world-buildy for me. Like, I love reading worlds, about worlds, and I love reading about, like, stuff, but it just seems to pale in comparison in terms of the storytelling to The Hobbit. I don't know. It's way longer, so I was like, well, it must be better, right? But I just can't keep reading it because for me, it just keeps on droning on, and it's so dull sometimes, and, man, it's only been 70 minutes? Jesus Christ, it feels like way longer than that. Anyway, but like, if you have any suggestions in terms of what kind of books that you like reading, that you think that I might like to read, or maybe I wouldn't like to read, okay? You can still recommend me books that way. You don't know me, really, but like, any favorite books, feel free to type them in the chat. If I know them, I'll give you my unasked for opinion on it. And yeah, what kind of books do I like to read? Well, I did mention medical kind of non-fiction. For example, I really like reading about doctors' experiences, and one of the books that I recently read, I'm not sure if it's back there. No, it isn't actually. God, the lighting is I don't know what to think about it. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Does it... Because, like, it certainly makes me stand out more, I think. Or I could be wrong. But, like, yeah, I kind of like this. I kind of like this. It makes me look important, I have a glowing background that frames me or something. Anyway, but yeah. Books and reading. I really wish I could read more lately. I've only been able to read, like, online fanfiction, and not, like, I'm not, in any way saying that fanfiction cannot be good quality writing, but I am saying that sometimes I feel like I'm having to sift through so much stuff just to find the fics that I enjoy, and, well, I mean, I'm willing to do it, but eventually you lose your patience, and sometimes it's really frustrating because when you publish a book, you have the knowledge that this book is complete, right? No one publishes an unfinished book. Like, I don't even know, traditionally, no publisher is going to publish an unfinished book, or at least I don't think they will, right? Like, probably common sense that they don't, okay? But, like, I start reading this 20k fanfiction about, like, I don't know, Transcendence, AU, Gravity Falls or something, and I get to the last chapter, and it's been 20k words, but it still hasn't been finished, and I'm still waiting, and only recently have I learned the power of subscribing, I think. Like following it so that you get email updates whenever it updates, right? And it's that's I guess kind of both appeal and also like the disadvantage of reading online works, right? Because on one hand, it is it does make for some very effective cliffhangers, because in terms of like chapter wise, because like you actually have to wait real time until the person finishes writing it, and also you feel more, I guess, a part of the journey, a part of the experience is I don't know, is being there when it was being written. And people like being a part of things, right? Like maybe you feel good about watching me while I'm small, because it's like being a part of someone's growth journey, and you can compare what happened before and what happened after. Not necessarily saying that I will get any bigger than this, but we can be hopeful, right? And that's the advantage. But the disadvantage is if you're someone who's very impatient when it comes to readings, because I really like this and just cannot wait, then I often find myself rage quitting, scrolling through AO3, as silly as that sounds, and I leave it for like months on end until like I check back on all the works to just feast upon, like I'm like one of those starved animals that jump onto it and viciously tear the meat away from the bones until there's nothing left, and then I just skulk away waiting for the next time, right, to pounce. So like it does frustrate me sometimes, but people can't write that fast, and I would never expect someone to, seeing as I cannot exactly finish my own stories most of the time, so like can't be hypocritical and stuff. Or can I judge you for not writing your novel this week, or not writing your story this week? Or can I judge you for not finishing your painting and leaving it for months as it sits in the dark corner of your room, waiting for another brushstroke to be laid upon it in sadness? And yes, I am referring to the still life painting that I was trying to do in a kind of like Paul Cézanne style. Let me show it to you, just in case you've forgotten, or just in case you've never seen it before. Yeah, this is the thing. It is not finished yet, and I would love to finish it one day, but like, but I can't be bothered, okay? And just to like, just to add salt to the wound, or just to add like, what's it called, to damage? Just to add something to damage or whatever. Like, I started a new painting, and it's going to be this river scene, and I've abandoned my child. And before this river scene, I abandoned another child of mine. I abandoned the portrait that I was going to do of someone sitting cross-legged, because, you know what, it seemed like a great idea at the time. I don't know why, but I did the basic outline, and then I said, no. And I never touched that canvas for another 4 months until now. So, yeah, God. Like, doing creative things just, it's really, it's like reading. Ha! You thought I was going on a tangent? No! I'm like an English teacher. I link back to the previous paragraph. And, I RUAE everything in my life. That's reading for understanding, analysis, and evaluation. So sexy. I know, right? Like, oh, babe, do you want to hear about imagery? Do you want to hear about word choice? This word means this, which suggests that this, and it's a very effective technique because of this, and it links back to that. You thought I forgot about that, did you? No, I always remember. I'm always watching. I'm under your bed right now. You might not believe me, but hello, Susan. Hello, Susan. I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting until you finish that. Finish. What do Susans do? Because, like, no offense to any Susans watching, or maybe not watching. Maybe full offense to all Susans that exist in the world. But it is kind of an old name, I think. And so, like, what do middle-aged women do? What do middle-aged women do? How do I... I watched you, dusting the shelves last week. Housework, am I right? Gotta keep the house clean. Or the flat, I guess, I don't know what middle-aged work, but like, like, I remember watching this person talk about psychics one time, and he was talking about how, like, he was like, oh my god, I'm sensing a connection between me and whoever, Tim or something, and like, obviously, and then he explained it, and he was like, it's obviously very strange for 99% of you, but like, one person will be called Tim, and one person will be a joiner, and that person would be very freaked out then. And the way that he gathered the information was, one of his subscribers has an Instagram that, I don't know, they DM'd him with, and he was able to go to their Instagram page and get all this information and kind of make guesses, like, for example, if they post a picture of a dog and say, this is my fucking dog, then you can go, I think you have a dog. How's your dog been doing, Tim? And you can be all, mystical and stuff. Anyway, it appears that we've gone on for 28 minutes nearly. So do you know what time it is? It's time for plugging my stream. No, because you're watching right now. It's time for plugging my channel. If you enjoy this kind of content, if you would like to see more, if you enjoy future gaming content that hasn't happened yet, if you enjoy the fact that, when subs become a thing on this channel, that I will start, making sub goals, like every other Twitch streamer, then you should totally follow me, because you should. And, you know what? I just know that you will. One day, you will sit down on your couch, 10 years' time, and you'll go, I really should have listened to that random person on Twitch with godlike hands because of the terrible lighting quality. And, you know what? I should have followed them. So you should go follow me now. Anyway, that's been a PSA. Follow me. Obviously, it's COVID guidelines to follow me. How follow the law. Yeah. Anyway, I am the law. No. But what else? What else about reading and books that is fascinating? What else have I not said about this topic? Maybe about my own books? I don't know. Genres of books and stereotyping the people who read certain genres. This is completely unplanned, as like everything in my life. Anyway, Anyway, so let me just recalibrate for a moment. Why did I just stare off into the distance like I was saying some kind of really sad thing? You know, it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes you have to have these moments for dramatic effect, and sometimes you wanna show off a bit. Your acting skills. Anyway, what was I going to say again? Is it books that I like? Oh, genres and stereotyping people. Exactly. On this channel, we stereotype not for the good, not for the bad, not for anything in between, but for fun. I think, yes? Okay, anyway, here goes. Right, so if you read fantasy, fantasy readers, are you an only child, or are you the eldest child with what's it called, that had to take care of your siblings all your life, or the golden child, the one with self-esteem issues, with imposter syndrome? Do you do escapism? Okay, right. This already feels like just no. We are not doing this. Unless you think this is a good idea, in which case, let me know. Viewer engagement. Great for the channel. Great for my morale. Great for your entertainment. Because then I can be like an old seamstress. And I can tailor it to your needs. What to your needs, you ask? This stream. The content. You have the opportunity to change it all. Why not take the opportunity now and follow me on Twitch? No, yeah, I think that's enough plugging in how many minutes? 4 minutes today. I really like, well, I don't know. I can't say I really like sponsored ad reads, but I also really love seeing people come up with ideas to integrate it into their videos and just make it interesting to. For example, Daniel, what's his face? He plays piano. He's on YouTube. He's on TikTok. I can't remember his name, but he does sponsored skits, and I think it's just it's like content, but not. But it is content. It's interesting to watch. Obviously promoting a product, but it's still fun and engaging, right? And I think that's just great. While sponsored ad reads are good, but they're all the same thing. For example, sign up to Skillshare to I don't know, knowledge. No, one ad read that I'm very familiar is one for Manscaped, and it usually goes something as, "Dudes, are your balls hairy?" or something like that. Do you have a bush that needs trimming? Well, use the Manscaped 4.0 because it will, I don't know, make you bald like a baby's head, and then maybe the person will tell you a fun little anecdote of how they nicked themselves while they were shaving, or I don't know, something else, okay? I had it, I forgot it, I remembered that this stream is supposed to be PG, and I failed. But that's okay, because, failure is a moment of life. I fail. You know what? Love yourself, because no one else will love you as much as you might love yourself. And I don't know whether that's very inspirational or very sad. And I don't care either way, because you know what? Live your best life. And if your best life is in the sewers somewhere searching for cheese, then you're a rat. And that's okay. I love my rats, and I love my human viewers all the very same. You know what? From this point forward, all my viewers should be rats. Like how the Dream SMP people, the big creators, they have chats that are Tubbles are bees, I think, and Phil's are crows, proud to be part of the Crow Army, and technos are voices and stuff. You know what? You guys should be rats. I don't think anyone else has done that, and I just love the idea of a bunch of rats scurrying around wherever I go, like handing me pieces of moldy cheese. Is this a new theme? Is this a new era for the channel that I'm sensing? Am I going to dress up in a rat costume if we reach a certain follower goal? If I become an affiliate? Maybe. Maybe not. Stick around to see. Anyway, wow. But yeah, I really do like the idea of rats. Like, I don't want to stop being a mushroom person, because if you ask me, I'm a pretty funky mushroom person. Why did I do that? Anyway, but like, I like the mushroom vibe that I'm getting with my channel. You know, I like the cardboard box thing. I like being called Soup, because Minecraft auto-generated my username to be Familial Soup. And speaking of Minecraft, I changed my Minecraft account because I no longer wanted my mother's Hotmail address to be my Minecraft account's thingamajiggy, because it was just frustrating to try and get rounds until I like made an entirely new like account. Still called myself Familial Soup, right? Because I changed my old account's name, and then I realized that I couldn't even get rounds. Anyway, that's my small gripe for this week. Like, oh gosh, why? Oh gosh, why? Because like now I need to go through all my fucking achievements again, and I don't know about you, but I wanna go back to that sweet 69% on my achievement score, and now I need to do it all over again, and that makes me very sad. But at least I can, you know, maybe aim for different achievements this time, and you know, so I would technically get every achievement, but like not really, you know. Oh god, you know, I keep on saying you know. I should make stickers with myself on it saying, you know. Anyway, is that perhaps egotistical of me, or is that just merchandise? A question that every streamer and online content producer or entertainer must ask themselves every day. Probably not. But like, you know, pog kind of things. Pog kind of things. Man, I am missing some people in chat today. I mean, they haven't been here for like a month or 2 weeks or something. I don't know, my perception of time is skewed. Nothing, everything is a lie. Whatever, the perception is, what is it? Time is a lie, something's, get gold, invest in gold. What was Bill Cipher's phrase again? Time is something, illusion illusion is reality. Reality is an illusion, something, gold, goodbye? Anyway, it's okay. It's far too late in the afternoon to be talking about comic villains. No, it's not a comic. What the fuck? No, cartoon villains' catchphrases. I should make my own cartoon villain catchphrase, you know? I should make my catchphrase be like, you know, that. Exactly that. You know, like every single time I go to say my catchphrase, I pretend that I'm choking on something and having a seizure. And that way the superhero will be like, oh, are you okay? Do you need help? And I'll just hold on to my chest, and I'll reach out one hand, and then I'll laser blast them in the face. And this is how I take over the world. That's actually not a bad idea. No, it is a bad idea, but it isn't a bad idea, you know? Like, what if there was a comic villain that would just do that, and no one would know that they did that every single time, because the hero would just die? And everyone else would just die or something, okay? And, or they had, what if they had memory wiping abilities, but they only used memory wiping abilities to make everyone forget that that's their catchphrase, because even though they're a supervillain, they still have certain moral qualms against like wiping people's memories, because they're like, oh, but like, you know, your memories are a part of you, and you know, if I take away that memory of more than that memory of theirs, maybe they'll be less of themselves and they'll have an existential crisis and stuff like that. And you know what? I think that I should actually unironically or ironically make that into a comic. Nervously laughs at my 3 or 4 other projects that I'm supposed to be doing. Anyway, that's fine, you know, that's fine. It's fine, you know, it's fine. Ooh, God. Sometimes, you know, why do I keep on going back to this? I don't understand why, but sometimes, somehow, I keep on going back to saying, you know what? I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say this. You will never know! Anyway, I did make a mask, by the way, to go with this, to go with this thing. It's this, like, I draw my mushroom people without a face. If you check my icon right now and maybe, just maybe, follow me, then you will see that my avatar is wearing a mushroom hat. That's that hat, by the way. Yes, that one. And also they have no face. And this is the mask that I was trying to, you know, kind of wear to streams and stuff. Because I was like, you know, might as well look the part, right? But then whenever I cover myself like this, I'm pretty sure that you could tell that my voice is a bit muffled. And also it's hard to breathe in this. And also it's hard to see in this. And it's just kind of inconvenient. But that's okay. That's okay. Because a lot of things in life is inconvenient. And that's on saying utter bullshit, and then some things that might actually, if you squint hard enough with your ears, be something of value to listen to. And we are approaching the 41-minute mark. Oh my god. You know, you should totally applaud me for going this far. Can I get a poggers in the chat, perhaps? You know, for lasting this long without screaming so much that my voice just goes completely. Well, it is going a bit, but like, you know, not enough for me to stop yet, because I've still got Steam. I can still keep going. And one day I will get Steam on my computer, and one day I will play video games on stream. Today is not that day, which is very saddening. That's so terrible. You know, like, you should not half-ass anything. If you want to do something, go the whole way kind of thing, right? Because you can't just go like that. You gotta play the part. You gotta flop over onto your chair and make your mushroom hat fall off from the utter distress that you're feeling, you know? And sometimes it's nice to just look outdoors. Oh my god, you can see the stream in this reflection. Look at that. That's neat. Anyway, it is nice to look at the sky sometimes, especially with my sunglasses, because I'm quite light sensitive and stuff. Not that I need them to function most of the time, but it's quite nice. Dims everything down a bit. Maybe that's why I like winter and autumn so much, because the deadly rays of the sun do not T-pose down upon me in Scotland. Now, Scotland sun is very interesting, in my opinion. How is it interesting? I think it's because, like, it feels... I guess the direct translation of how I would usually say it in Mandarin is it feels toxic. It feels poisonous. And this is not based in any scientific thing, by the way. It just seems to hit harder than it does literally everywhere else. and it just confuses me so much. But it just seems brighter, and it just seems hotter, and I don't know why that's a thing. Any actual fucking scientists or people who have studied whatever this is can try and tell me or explain it to me, hopefully, you know. But yeah. Also, I had this neat little mask that I forgot about. This is such a prized possession of mine, you know. I love my cute little plague mask, but it does steam up a lot. It does muffle me, and it is horribly sweaty to put on. And this is why I don't wear it. But because of Scottish winter coming, yes, this is now the universal sign for winter. Winter. Every time you say the word winter, you're obligated to do this pose. You know, every time you talk to your friends, you now go winter. In winter, I am going to the winter wonderland, and it's like, you know, it's this, right? You just scrunch up your shoulders, because this makes an upside down W. And so instead of doing this for winter, you go this for winter, because secretly you're a pack of rats in a trench coat, and doing this would be detrimental to balancing on the arms or something like that. And I think, you know what, I could still go on. I kind of want to, but I don't know if I want to or not end the stream right here, because like I don't want to overexert myself to the well, this isn't really overexerting, to be honest, but I don't want to burn out myself in terms of streaming, that I just have nothing to say next week. That's always like a fear of mine when I'm streaming, that I'll just like just not have anything to say the next time, because I'll be all out of talk. I do not have a very, very interesting life. Like, it's interesting to me, but it's probably not interesting to you. So, yeah, join me next week, where, or rather, last minute chance, if you want to suggest a topic for next week and you think you're going to come back, in which case follow me and ring that notification bell so that you actually do receive the notification, right? Then you can just type in chat here. I'll probably be in the chat box a few minutes just watching after the stream. Probably not, but I'm going to promise you empty promises, just like a politician. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. And goodbye.